So hi, I'm Brandon Lorino, executive producer of Dust 514. I am playing some Dust 514 right now. So here we find ourselves in our mercenary quarters. This is really where you hang out and prepare for battle. So as you can look around the room, there's various kiosks that draw you to some of the different things you can do. So for instance, if I walk over here, you'll see I can open up the battle finder. If I walk over here, there's the leaderboard. I can go over here. That's the drop suit fitting. Up here we have various information about stuff going on in the EVE universe. And I can open up the storefront. But basically, everything is accessible via your Neocom. So I'll just hit start, and you can see everything on the left there. And it goes from battle and the battle finder to character. You have your character sheet there. This is where you manage and upgrade your skills. Augmentations are things like boosters. Fitting is essentially the EVE universe equivalent of equipping your character. So drop suit is the armor that your Dust mercenary is in, and vehicle fitting. Then we have the market and the marketplace and your own inventory, what we call assets. All of the social features, so chat, and we have real-time chat between EVE and Dust. So EVE Online on PC and Macintosh, and Dust 514 on the PlayStation 3. Players can chat with one another in real time, voice and text. And you see I can pull up the chat panel here. And local is sort of who's around me in the universe, and corp is who's in my corporation, which is the EVE universe equivalent of guilds. And again, another interesting thing that we're doing is merging guilds or corporations between EVE Online and Dust 514. So existing EVE corporations that have been around for almost 10 years can recruit Dust players into them. And Dust players can start their own corporations and recruit EVE players into them, or stay exclusively Dust, and vice versa. So these are all just different examples of the interconnectivity between the different games. I can also create a persistent squad and jump into battles with that squad. Right now it's set at 4 players. We're going to upgrade that to 6. Right now battles are set to 32 players. We'll be upgrading that to 48 players in the near future. And that's another really important part of the game, is how we iterate and update over time. In the course of the past year, Dust launched in closed beta on the PlayStation 3 in December 2011, and we've been running in beta for almost a year, and that in and of itself is a very new thing for console games. And in the course of that time, we've also fully updated the graphics engine and added a ton of these new features, including the merged corporations between EVE and Dust, and the real-time communications, voice and text chat, to all kinds of new maps and game modes and weapons and vehicles. And we'll continue to do that. Even with our next update, we have some more major graphical improvements coming in. So anyway, we're looking at the social features now, which again includes that real-time voice and text chat between EVE Online on PC and Mac and Dust 514 on PS3. Contacts are persistent between the games. There's an in-game email system between them. And then these are the Dust 514 leaderboards. Corporations, as mentioned, are the guilds. And of course, there's things like options where you can tune your controls, and there's a bunch of in-game help available as well. So I will jump into battle now. So I go to the battle finder. And we have sort of instant battle matchmaking, but we've set up a special contract for the demo that we're doing today. We've got a bunch of people around the room just playing, as well as people in our Reykjavik office, our Shanghai office, and our San Francisco office, and our Atlanta office, all playing online as well. And what you're seeing here is actually what is live in the Dust open beta and live in EVE Online now. And that's another important point, is we just took the major step of adding Dust 514 to the live EVE Online server called Tranquility. So while we've been in closed beta for the past year on our test servers, and most recently our test server called Singularity, or CC, now we've moved it into the live EVE universe called Tranquility. And that's another very important point, is we're the only games company that makes single shard MMOs. So every single EVE Online player and every single Dust 514 player are all playing on the same server at once. So here we are in battle, and it looks like my team is getting their butt kicked. If you look in the upper left, you'll see that the enemy team has captured all of these objectives, and we're in a skirmish game mode. So this is my team's Mobile Command Center, or MCC, which is this giant ship, the largest vehicle that we have in Dust right now. And the enemy's MCC is across the map here. And what we want to do is capture these objectives so that these objectives are attached to cannons, which, when owned, will fire at the enemy's MCC, and you can see the enemy's MCC's health in the upper left. And basically, you want to blow theirs up before they blow yours up, is the goal of this game mode. So I'm going to spawn in. I can choose from the different spawn points that we have available. Another interesting thing is there's capturable spawn points around the battlefield, and another great game mechanic that we have is you can actually get something called a drop uplink, which allows you to place spawn points wherever you may need them on the battlefield. And again, that's a specific line of equipment and skills that you can specialize in and get better at utilizing. You can also attach spawn points to vehicles, very interestingly. We have some loadouts that we made for our demo today. But another really important point about Dust is we don't force you into classes. We have some starter classes, but then you can really mix and match and make whatever you like. So if you would like to make a scout, which is sort of a light suit that runs around with knives and a shotgun, so you specialize in running fast and getting close to the enemy and then just blowing them away or stabbing them in the back, you can do that. You can make a heavy that's a sniper. You can make a light suit, a scout that specializes in heavy weapons so they can move quickly but carry a big gun. It's really up to you. There's billions and billions of combinations. But what we have today, as I'm picking a spawn point, you get your choice of different loadouts. So I have an assault, a frontline assault, which is what we've termed for sort of a basic soldier with an assault rifle. This is an assault with a laser weapon, which does intensified damage the longer you concentrate the focus of the laser on your target. We have a heavy anti-vehicle. I believe this one is equipped with a forge gun, which fires a powerful blast that you have to charge, and you're limited in movement as it's charging. Logistics support carries essentially the Dust equivalent of a grenade launcher called a mass driver, and also has medic equipment attached to them. And of course, a scout, which is a light suit and can run very fast, with a sniper rifle. I'm going to go with the logistics support because I think it really shows well the depth of customization in the game. Another quick side note is our real-time 3D overview map, which again is very unique. So you can actually see the battlefield, the battle unfold in real time on the overview map, which is a really cool, unique feature that we have. Another cool thing is this thing called the inertia dampener, so you can fall from a great height, and if you activate your inertia dampener in time, you won't take damage. Another really cool thing is these maps are pieced together procedurally, so we have different terrains and different textures and different lighting and different environmental effects that all piece together based on the environmental attributes of the planet and the district you're fighting on to create all of the variety across the thousands of planets in the EVE universe. That's another first that we're doing in the gaming space. The closest thing I can relate it to is sort of like Diablo 2, how it put together maps. And we're sort of doing the FPS equivalent of that, which is another sort of unique and interesting thing. Another cool thing that we do, actually, I'll run over here real quick, is I'll call in a vehicle for myself. So another really someone has just called in an orbital strike from space, and if I had continued running forward, I would probably be dead right now. So lucky me. So anyway, I'm going to call in basically a car for myself. And another interesting point is, unlike other shooters, we don't just have ammo and vehicles lying around everywhere. Everything is an actual commodity in the EVE universe. It's something that's bought and sold on the interconnected marketplace between the two games. And it's something, so this vehicle is a vehicle that I've earned, I've paid for, I've customized. And again, when I say pay, we have a free earn currency called ISK or ISK, and then we have our paid currency called Aurum. Really, most things, everything is really purchased with ISK. There's no single item that you can purchase for Aurum that just gives you some unfair advantage. There's no super car you can buy for Aurum that would just kill everyone instantly or something like that. Really what we use Aurum for is for boosters, so you can get an XP boost that helps you accelerate a little bit faster, or personalization, like making your character look a certain color, things like that. But this vehicle was most definitely purchased with ISK, the free currency that you earn by fighting battles. Whether you win or lose, you always get a little something for the contract. And I'm under heavy fire now, so I need to concentrate while I'm talking. Where is that coming from? Oh man, I'm getting out of here because they are just determined to destroy my oh, that is a turret. Okay, I got myself into trouble because I am talking. And I just did horribly, and I got plowed. So I'm going to try to concentrate for a moment. I could try to call for help, but I don't. It says there's a triage unit. Let's see if I actually get resurrected by another medic here. I'm gonna keep pinging them for help, and they're getting a notification on their screen that there's someone nearby. So the point I was going to make is that everything is an actual commodity in the EVE universe. So that vehicle that I called in is actually brought down from space, and it's one copy of that vehicle. You typically, when you're buying stuff off the market with ISK or Aurum, you're dealing in quantities of say 50 or 100, and at entry level they are all very, very, very cheap in terms of ISK and Aurum to acquire. But everything is a commodity in the EVE universe. So the reason why it's so important to get resurrected by a medic is each time you die, that's one copy of your stuff that goes away. So if a medic resurrects me, then I've preserved that copy. But through our year of beta testing, we think we've struck a really good balance between making stuff feel precious and making the loss meaningful, while not making it so painful. And we've really been working hard to make sure that we've tuned it just right. And of course, at the highest levels, you've made a fairly significant investment in terms of time. And that heavy just blew up my ride that I called in, and I will get... well, at least I took him down. He blew up my vehicle, which is not nice. So I'm respawning. I didn't bother to wait for the medic this time. I'm gonna spawn a little bit further away from the battlefield here. Here we go. Drop down.
It's a bunch of. Yep.
Oh, yeah. That would be perfect for us.
Yeah, you guys are
Looks like I got a buddy out here.
I don't even know what that means. We're donkeys.
So let's call in another car. Actually, let's call in a tank. Let's see what kind of damage we can do with that. As you can see, people got a bunch of vehicles in play right now. My vehicle has been queued, and it will be brought down from space by an RDV, or a rapid deployment vehicle, momentarily.
That's not even an acronym.
And here she comes. And bear in mind, the RDV can take fire if the enemy is cruel and potentially compromise this vehicle drop. So you have to keep an eye on that as well. So here I am. I got myself a tank. Quite a bit slower than the car, but obviously much more heavily armored. Quite powerful. This one's got a... Oh, he got too close.